Okay guys, we are inside the XC60 Recharge and the vehicle is on now, but you can't hear anything because it is in pure mode. I'm going to pop it into, well, let's keep it in pure mode for right now, but I'm going to keep this page open so I can pop it into let's put pure mode, pure electric. We have one pedal driving on and let's set off. As you can hear, it is super quiet in this Volvo XC60. And that's one of the best things about these Volvos is that they're comfortable and really quiet and just refined vehicles. You're not going to be getting the most crazy modern technology out of it, other than, of course, you're paying for that powertrain because it's really cool. So like I said before, up front is your 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that it only powers the front wheels, and it can also charge the battery pack. In the rear of the vehicle, you got the battery pack as well as electric motors, and that is what is powering the rear wheels. So there's kind of like two engines going on here, which is really interesting. That's been Volvo's kind of twin engine kind of philosophy, but now they're calling it Recharge for their electrified vehicle lineup. And as you can see, we're still in full electric mode right now. And it's pretty smooth. And when you're in pure mode, it will stay in pure mode until that battery runs out, which is pretty cool. And of course, you can pop it into hybrid and power modes when you want to. So if I pop it into hybrid mode, the engine will kick on at that point up there. So when I press the accelerator pedal up to that little fuel drip sign right there, then the gas engine will kick on. So let's see what happens when we do that. Engine kicks on, and we got more power. You can hear it on now. So that's pretty cool. And with 455 horsepower and over a 500 pound-feet of torque, when this full powertrain is operating, that's a lot for a midsize SUV. Now you can see I just took my foot off the accelerator and it went full regen because we're in brake mode, or I call it B mode, regenerative braking mode. And you can also turn on, like I said earlier, creep, so it'll kind of activate or kind of operate like a normal gas vehicle would when you would take your foot off the gas, and kind of just creeps along in traffic. But when you're in full regen mode, it'll actually come to a full complete stop, which I think is pretty cool. This infotainment system is fine. You have Google Maps built in. If you want to, I believe you can kind of find electric charging stations if you really only want to use the charger. But of course, you have the beauty of the gas engine in there as well. So when you hop into power mode, the air suspension drops down. You can hear it lowering right now on all four corners, which is really cool. And you're gonna get that full power out of the engine. Holy Jesus. And there you go. That wasn't a true 0 to 60 test, but that's when you're getting that full power output. Now you have to keep in mind, you're gonna get that full power output really when both the battery and the motors are gonna be charged. So if the electric motor doesn't have, or electric battery doesn't have like your full charge in it, you're not going to be getting that full power out of it, which is kind of unfortunate. So you can want to either keep it charged all the time, or you're going to want to have it into like hold mode or charge mode to kind of like get things all juiced up in there, which is pretty cool. And like I said, you can also have steering feel firm turned on if you want to have like a little bit of a heavier steering feedback, but even with that on, it's still pretty heavy. But I'm going to stop talking about this as a performance car because that's not what it is. It is a family crossover at the end of the day, and I think it does a fantastic job at that. It's comfortable, quiet, like I said before, and it gets the job done really well. And if you want to have that blend of kind of hybrid power and with a little bit of that extended range of the electric powertrain, these are really great. And Volvo's kind of doing a great job in this segment right now of selling these plug-in vehicles. They're offering it now in basically almost all of their models, except for the 40 series, which is fully electric, can be operated as fully electric. And even in full power mode, it is pretty smooth. I love that. Now, if you do want a bigger vehicle, there is always the XC90, and that as well comes in this powertrain option. But Volvo is going to be going more fully electric pretty soon, and they'll be offering things like the EX90, which will be coming late 2023 into 2024, which is their fully electric 7-passenger vehicle, which is going to be really cool. Excited for that. Wow, that is punchy. It's definitely a punchy vehicle. But yeah, I think these are pretty cool cars. And if you're a fan of Volvos, how could you not love these? And you also have your Pro Pilot Assist functions over here on the steering wheel. So when you activate these, it will do adaptive cruise control, like it's doing now. Obviously, we're not on a highway, so this isn't the best setting to check that out. And this one is kind of like the more advanced version where it will also have steering assist. I have to say, Volvo's steering assist and Subaru's steering assist functions are some of my favorite. When you're on the highway, they really truly do steer you around turns without your hands on it. And now, you're obviously not supposed to take your hands off the steering wheel, but they genuinely can and kind of steer you, which is pretty cool. Some of the other cars will kind of just like bump you in and out of lanes, but Volvo's been doing these systems for a really long time, and they kind of have it down packed pretty well. And I do wish there was an easier drive mode selector. It is kind of difficult sometimes to kind of have to go through all these menus to change all these drive modes all the time. But let's see a turning circle right here. Oh, not the best thing on the planet. Will we make it? It's safe over there. We'll make it. Awesome. And we're still in power mode. But honestly, sure, you have all that power. I do think it's actually pretty fun to drive this in pure mode. You can see right now we're going down the hill. We're regenerative braking, putting all that energy that's going down right back into the battery pack. And believe it or not, just from driving around town, just within B mode, I actually gained like 2 miles of range, which is pretty cool. Pure mode. And look at that, right back in EV mode. That, I think, is really cool. That you can just switch it into that and have a really quiet experience. If you don't want to have the engine on, I think that's pretty cool. So you guys, thank you for joining me on this quick drive of the XC60 Recharge. And I would definitely consider looking at one of these if you really are into a plug-in hybrid vehicle and you don't want to go all out to get a full EV just yet, and you want that convenience of having the gas engine while having like a decent amount of electric range. I would definitely look into one of these. They're pretty luxurious inside if you can option them. Sure, they get a little expensive, but I think they're fantastic daily cruisers. And if you do a lot of miles, do a lot of highway driving, or even just going around town for work, these are pretty sweet. So stay tuned for a lot more videos coming soon with Allcarnews, and thank you guys again for watching.
Hey.